Hey, everybody, welcome to the last week of the course. Oh my gosh, summer flies. Yeah, I just wanted to touch base about your keeping order posts for the tests and then get you started on these last topics, which are about gender, gender ideology, religion, and society. You guys had really interesting things, interesting posts last week about keeping order. I love that you guys, many of you took it to places that I hadn't even thought about, like cringe culture, cancel culture, holiday traditions, language. The holiday traditions was totally interesting to me because, like, it made me reflect on my own family and like whenever I visit family it strikes me that we have this reinforcement of family norms that happens that is okay telling stories but more sharing recipes like this is what my family does like there's sort of this way of like we all share recipes and talk about recipes and food and of course eat together but then it's really more like this this is what our family does, this is what we cook and eat, right? Yeah. And so anyway, that's my family. Let's see. Genesis, Megan, Raylin, all of you guys brought up religion. It rapidly turned into this really amazing philosophical kind of discussion about, does religion inform our social morals or do our social morals inform religion, right? It reminded me too, I had this student last summer who wrote about how his church would occasionally disfellowship people. They had this thing called disfellowshipping, where their church would deliberately start ostracizing members of the congregation as this way of like enforcement of judgment, right? Or punishment, even, right? So yeah, it reminds me, and you all will see that this section, right? Religion and religious beliefs are certainly interesting, right, to a cultural anthropologist and worthy of study. So that comes up. Callie, Casey, Katie, and Ciara. My God, you guys all had these color-coded circles in elementary school, right? That like your whole class could see. I can't remember. I think it was Casey who said that she would even skip recess to help the teacher clean. Oh my God. Like that is exactly what I'm talking about, right? About this sort of informal mechanism of social control. I don't think I would want my kids to skip recess. Like, yikes. Anyway, let's see. Sam and Morgan, you two talked about social media and influencer status and cancel culture. Sam had this really interesting point where he talks about how influencers who reach the widest audiences are the ones that invariably promote hegemonic structures or even commercial hegemonic structures the most. I suspect that you two, or maybe more of you, have read or read about Michel Foucault. Foucault talks a lot about like the people wielding influence or power in society, right? And then lastly, Darius and Stacy, really like your all's point about resistance, right? That it is possible to challenge these sort of dominant hegemonic power structures in society, right? All right. That's enough for now. Today's test day. Hopefully those went well or are going well. Um, Heads up about this last week. We are in the last section of the course. You guys have made it 75% through. Woohoo! The first topic, though, is about gender. And there's a gender discussion that I want to make sure you do, and a film. So, the gender discussion, there's this visual anthropologist called Dr. Scott Lucas. He's this visual anthropologist who's been collecting gender based advertising examples for like 20 years. And so, they're ads with a particular bent about gender and gender roles, right? Um, yeah, they are often, but not always, in this sort of binary of male female. So I'm really just interested to hear what you all think about these, and particularly if you think that things have gotten much better than some of like the eight more dated ones that he has. And if any of you chance upon a particular gender-based ad yourself, please feel free to put that in the discussion because that would be super interesting for me. All right, two films this unit. One I just talked about prefaced. You have to choose one of two films to watch. and give a response. One is about how we learn to be feminine. One is about how we learn to be masculine. So you can choose one of those two, right? And then the other is a film about culture contact and culture change. Lastly, core assessments are available this week. Those count, I think, about 8 points. So an easy, very easy 2% of your grade. So those will be, actually, I think those are open today. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy this last week of class and enjoy the rest of your summer. Please come by the anthropology department. Maybe I will see you around in the fall. All right, take care. Bye.